Caitlin is unfortunately unable to attend tonight because she is doing a comedy show in LA, so we're just going to be here, not just, I'm sorry, we're going to be here with Rachel, Laurynne, and Laurynne. So you guys are an incredible group of ladies. I'm so excited to be here and, be chatting with you and kind of get to know a little bit more about you. Besides the video, I have so many questions. So just to talk about your guys' high school experience. So let's start with that. So it's interesting that the three of you were all together in the same year. So Rachel, Caitlin, and Laurynne were all in high school at the same time. So what was it like, ladies, competing against one another? So let's start with you, Laurynne. What was it like? What was the competition like locally during your high school years?
Well, I could never pull it together for a cross-country race, so Rachel and Caitlin owned me there. But truthfully, I looked up to Rachel and Caitlin because they could grind it out. I just got away with running a mile really fast in the 800. But when I look back, I think about Caitlin and Rachel, and we were so young, and they were able to, I don't know. I just think that takes, a lot of courage to be able to dig deep for 3 miles.
And as much as I would have wished I could run as fast as you in the mile, there's no way I ever could have done that. So competing against each other at the time, really I was kind of a stress case before races. So I really tried to just focus on what I wanted to do during the race, and I tried not to pay attention to anything else, to distract me or to get me, to psych me out for the race. So I just wanted to go out there and do my best, and that was it.
And Laurynne, what about you? You had some incredible rivals during your high school years. So what were some memorable competitors that you can kind of chat about your high school days?
So, hold it a little further away. Okay. I started running competitively in my junior year of high school, and when I joined the team, I was very unfamiliar with just everyone that was in the running world and how fantastic they were, and also how all the amazing feats they're accomplishing. So yeah, starting in my junior year, I was just looking at okay, what sort of running are the people on the team doing? What times are they hitting, and how can I try to keep up with them? And so the immediate, I wouldn't call it competition, but the immediate person to look up to and really learn from and maybe emulate to a certain extent was Chelsea Riley. And yeah, I have a lot to thank her for in that first year on the team. And then going into 2008, my senior year, when I I think I understand this running thing, and kind of where my potential, and I had more confidence. Then I was really, thinking of Jordan Hussey and Christine Babcock as potential competitors, I could go head to head with them. And so Jordan Hussey, as we saw in the video, I had the chance to really compete with, and with her, what I really learned is you have to, she can have any card to pull out, any sort of race, she can still win. She can do a tactical, slower than pick it up race, or she can just go out hard and you just try to hang with her. But she always has something left in the end. And you just always have to have that last card to pull right in the end. And so I always admire her for that. And just the grit you gotta cultivate in yourself to keep up with those competitors. So.
Yeah. We learned a little bit about, some of your coaches through the videos, and, how they played a, role in the development of you guys as athletes. So Laurynne, your high school coach was actually Bill Gregg, and he's being honored here tonight. Tell us a little bit about how he helped you, and also something that, he might be too humble to say about himself.
First of all, I think there's there are tons of things to say about Greg, and I'll get to them. But I also do want to say he has an amazing coaching staff that also really coach similarly to him, and I think create an amazing team atmosphere. And so I have a lot to thank them for as well. And thankfully, he continues to bring amazing people onto the coaching staff to keep up this legacy. Yeah, Bill, wow. I mean, it was the first time I had ever had like a friendship with a coach, and I could talk to him about anything. And through that, I really realized how important trust is in relationships. Trust both ways. And it's relationships of any sort, not just coaching to athlete. And yeah, I think that's really important to achieving something special together. He always showed so much, he always really respected his athletes. There's no hierarchy there, and really looked to them as collaborators and people that he was going with on this journey to see, like, where can we reach your full potential? And so I'm very thankful that I learned from him the value, importance of having trust in both directions in a relationship. But also, another thing I really learned from him was confidence in yourself, no matter what is going on. Even if you think you're disappointing yourself, still having confidence in yourself, because I think he always had confidence in all his athletes. And so no matter like what bump came up along the road, he always felt that, okay, you're gonna get back and it'll be okay, because the focus was always about the journey, not the results. And so I definitely appreciate that in life, that it's about the journey and experiencing every day and being grateful for every part of each day. And then if you get something amazing as the destination, then even better, but that's not the most important thing.
Seems like she got a lot of life lessons, not just running. So Rachel, what about you? Can you tell us a bit about your coaches and
I'm going to try to follow that. Okay.
the role they played with your success?
Yeah, so I'll start with my track coach, Ian Waters. He was definitely not afraid to push me to the limits. His favorite days were the really hard workouts. I remember him getting so excited. He'd be like, "Are you ready? Are you ready to do this?" And I'm like, "What torture do you have for me today?" But he never doubted my ability to succeed. And I really struggled with self-confidence in high school. And he and my cross-country coach, Amber, they never doubted that. And it really helped me to find that confidence. In Amber, she was great. She knew that I was a very focused and disciplined runner. It was just in my nature. But she always reminded me to have fun with it. You know, it doesn't all have to be serious. It's not the end of the world. So race days were hard, mentally preparing for that. And so she was good at recognizing that what I needed I didn't need that pep talk. I needed somebody there to be that calming presence and to say, "Hey, this is all right, this is fun. You're gonna go out there, you're gonna do great, and you don't have anything to worry about no matter what happens." And that really helped to reassure me and to get back to that place of, I can do this. I work hard. I've got some great coaches who are very supportive. I've got great teammates. This is gonna be fine. So and having the trust, like you talked about, just knowing that they have your best interests in mind. That that's it.
That's good. And Laurynne, you had a few coaches, so let's talk about them.
So I feel fortunate. I had a couple male coaches who were great, but I had one female coach named Terry. Sometimes it got confused with male, but the point is, through it all, male coaches would come up to her and ask her who's giving her workouts, or who's the man behind the scenes, in a sense, and it was us. We traveled together. One time we had a track coach book us a hotel in the hood. And we like rolled with it and ordered. It was fun. We had a lot of fun. And I think what it boils down to is I had someone who, and it's crazy how often I think about Terry because she has 2 sons. So do I. And she said, well, I just spent every afternoon playing with them. And that crosses my mind every day. So I'm grateful for someone who showed me the way, gave me workouts that worked, but also was a mentor, and it inspired me as a professional and as a mom. That's it.
And the video did a great job of you ladies capturing your highlights. What do each of you remember most about your high school running experience? Maybe we'll start with Rachel.
What I remember most about my high school running experience was the surprise, just learning that I was capable of much more than what I ever thought I could be, and that sometimes you got to take risks and put yourself out there even when it's really scary. And I'd say that that's what running taught me. And even on your bad days, you've got to put in the effort. You've got to show up and work hard, and it will pay off. You know, it's not always going to be fun, but, you know, there is talk about running joyfully. I think that, you know, there was a time in high school where running became really hard, and I didn't think I was doing it for myself. And I had to find my way back to that. I had to learn to run joyfully again. And just learning to do things for the right reasons. And running, it was also a sort of meditation for me, and a quiet place where I could just go to in my mind and sorry, I'm getting a little choked up. But yeah, and I think that running is a great metaphor for life. You know, show up every day, put in the work, even when it's hard, and it will pay off. And yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Laurynne, what about you?
Public speaking is not my thing, so thank you for bearing with me.
You're doing great. What about you?
My favorite high school? What was the question?
Highlights, capturing the highlights.
When I look back, to be real, I actually think about Bill Craig, because he's just a sweet pea. I ran into him at a restaurant after I graduated college, and he was 100% asking me how I was doing, where I was in life. And I just think that's very sweet. And actually, there's a lot of people in this room, like Erin and Katie, and Danielle. Well, Danielle was here earlier, but anyway, people I ran with in high school that I still run into and want the best for them. And I think that's the biggest thing, is like running people are cool.
Yeah.
That's it.
Laurynne, what about you?
Blissful running. Yeah, the team at DHS was, the focus primarily was caring for each other as people, and the camaraderie was very special. So, I mean, it didn't matter how you ran that day. No one was going to value you any differently. So you just felt like there was running without really running freely, because you weren't putting pressures on yourself. It's just, how fast can I go today? How do I feel like running today? How do I want to share this day with my teammates? And I just felt like magic happened when you don't have unnecessary pressure. So yeah, that was probably my most blissful competitive running. Yeah.
So I feel like you guys all really skills that, running really taught you and everything. So let's just go ahead and think. Who else do you guys want to thank? Who else, played an instrumental role in your guys' success in high school?
I also, my family was, of course, very important with that. Like, always supported me, never told me I had to do this sport or that sport. Just whatever you feel like, sure, we'll be there for you. So I appreciate them in giving me that freedom. Also, Joe Hartman, being on the Buffalo Babes was a really special experience. I got to meet people outside the DHS team and really got a sense for how special the running community at large can be, and met some special individuals outside of the team, but also the events that I was able to go to with them. Those are also some of the memories I'll cherish forever. And yeah, I mean, I've thanked Bill, can't thank you ever enough. And as I had said before too, the other coaches on the team, Tracy Bennett, just that emotional support. I mean, high school can be tough, but they were there for you. It's like, okay, this running thing, it kind of takes backseat to the rest of life. And so just like true, honest support, like we just care for you as a person. And we all enjoy running, but, we're caring for each other as people. And so that was just like the perfect, safe environment to really flourish and thrive as a runner. Thank you. Oh, sorry. I also really want to thank the SRA for you, of course. I am very honored and humbled by this recognition. The running community is really, really special. I've met some of the best people in the running community, and this is just another reminder of how, and I've met so many wonderful people here too, a reminder of how special the running community is, and I really admire how the SRA is continuing that, and it's just, it can be such a positive thing in people's lives, and I think it's great to keep supporting that, so thank you.
Well, first, I want to thank my parents, who rarely ever missed a meet, and they were always there to support me and cheer me on, and always to let me know that, running or no running, they loved me no matter what. Like I said, I put a lot of pressure on myself, so they were always there to let me know, like, no matter what, we're here for you. And I'd also like to thank my little sister, who couldn't be here tonight, but who was dragged to all of my meets, and she patiently waited for the races to end. I want to thank my coaches, Ian Waters and Amber Lassiter, and of course the Sacramento Running Association. Thank you so much.
I'd like to thank my dad. He took me out to the track at Colorado State when we lived there, and he told me that he saw this vision of me being a runner. And I told him I played basketball. So thank you for putting weight benches in my room and telling me to lift weights. I never did, but thank you. And then my dad, who also was a runner, he understood a lot of things that I think other parents wouldn't understand. No offense, Mom. My mom, I was running really, really slow in college, and she just kept yelling, "I love you," to me in a race. And I remember thinking, maybe I could slow down even more then, because she loves me. And I appreciate that, because that all plays into it. Terry, I just appreciate you believing in me and being my bud. And SRA, I think I'm up here because Scott knows if I found out about this, he would be in trouble. So thank you.
All right, let's give him a round of
applause.
Wait! Oh, so sorry.
I was thinking about this. So I met Eileen Cloggis, don't even know how. I think I was with you, Aaron, and I met Eileen Cloggis, and she ran 450 in like early 80s. And she had no one to race. And I did. So thank you.
Thank you, ladies.